Here we go. Welcome, everybody. It is Saturday Night Alive for the Global Peace Tribe. And this is a really, really special show. Of course, every show we do is special. It's kind of like a parent, all their children are special. But tonight we've brought together those individuals that we have tremendous respect for, people that we have experienced are truly awakened and awakening and embodying their teachings. And so this particular early show is going to be a really, really good one because you're going to get a chance to have a more informal conversation with four really remarkable human beings. I'm going to introduce them in a moment, but I want to welcome everybody. Of course, welcome to all of our friends in the Zoom room. And I love that already you know what to do. Let us know where you're from. And I appreciate our regulars that are always the first ones in there. John and Lynn and Leaf and Anne and Eleanor. So welcome everybody, Janet, Jeff. So thank you for being Bonnie Lee. Thank you, Terry Russo, and so on and so forth. Thank you everyone for being with us. I want to get right to our Zoom room show because they're all remarkable people. As most of you probably know, because you're our friends and fans and people are here pretty much every week. So you know that Deborah and I both had the incredible opportunity to spend time with Shekinah and Sananda, the TwinRay, at their home in their beautiful temple up in Ashland last month. And getting to know them has been it's probably been the most pleasurable, wonderful new thing in my life. Because they are such an inspiration. So I'm adding them. And what I want to say about Shekinah and Sananda is they are the real deal. They are awake human beings that still eat and sleep sometimes, and and are fully present. What I experience is they're just always in this beautiful state of presence. And it's an inspiration to me, like, okay, that's who I want to be when I grow up. So it's just such a blessing to have you both with us. And so when we decided to do this show, it's like, okay, who else can we bring in that's of a similar vibration that can really kind of be in the same space? And we realized we wanted to bring in Adam Apollo and Eden Amadora. We've been blessed to have both Adam and Eden on our show a couple of times before. And again, these are individuals that are walking their talk. They are living the experience of embodiment. And I just have such respect for all four of you. And I guess the last thing I'll say, and then I just want to turn it over to all of you chatting with each other a little bit, is thank you. Thank you for being examples of leadership in the Aquarian age. Thank you for being leaders that walk your talk, that are humble, honest, vulnerable, and still leading the way and helping us to learn how we can embody ourselves. All four of you do that. You are providing tools and practices to help each of us become higher and more awake in our consciousness. So thank you. And I think I'll just start with a question to each of you. What's one example of where you took a big step forward that may have been challenging, may have been difficult to embrace embodying your teachings, to embrace being an awakened human being. So I think I'll start with that question. That'll get us off to a good start. I'll put the spotlight on us. Shekinah Sananda, you want to start?
Just wanted to really thank you for your pouring hearts, really how you lead with your heart and how you share, and what we've witnessed in our interactions together and our time together has been beautiful. And just the opportunity to connect again with Adam and also meet for the first time Eden, it's truly a pleasure and honor. And we're so happy to be sharing this beautiful sacred container on this very sacred day together.
Likewise. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here. It's wonderful to finally meet you, Shekinah Sananda, and to see you again, Adam. It's been a long time. I have really fond memories of our last time in your home where I live in Marin, and it's been years. So it's wonderful to be here.
Yeah, this show really feels like a little bit of a reunion for me, because it's been many years since I spent time with all three of you. And as beings, you're some of my favorite people in the world. So this is really an exquisite pleasure for me. And I'll happily get us started. I've had many of these moments where life has brought me a great challenge, where I had to step up and actually flow deeper into my embodiment of who I am and accept who I am, even if I was scared, my heart was pounding, I didn't know what I was going to do or how I was going to do what I was there to do. And yeah, I'll just say that, one of these moments was when I was invited to cook for a group of Indigenous elders in the Eastern Mountains near Boone, in North Carolina. And a gentleman had found me at the grocery store. His name was Paul Hartunian, Paul the Hula Man. And he knew my grandparents and was connected to the Meher Baba spiritual community and knew my grandparents. And he recognized me, even though the last time he'd seen me was as a little child, invited me up to this mountaintop where there are literally hundreds of these Indigenous elders gathering from around the world because of this prophecy from the Hawaiian people that when the tribes of the world would meet in the land of the two twins, the sacred hoop would begin to be rewoven. And I showed up thinking, wow, this is crazy. I'm going to cook for these elders and just be here and be in service to this community. But on the opening night, we went through the entire space, and every elder and every person there had to speak about why they were there and why they had showed up. And I remember the moment when they passed the little talking stick to me and I stood up, and suddenly my mind was completely blank. I was in this 0 point space, and what spilled out of my mouth was, I am Adam Apollo, and I am here to represent the youth of all nations who are not represented within this space. And it just came out, and I was like, whoa, what just happened? And the elders held me to it. They wouldn't let me go outside of any of the fire ceremonies. I had to always be in the ceremonies on time, before the thing, in the sweat lodges, smoke the white buffalo peace pipe before ceremony, all the things. And Paul, my poor hula man friend, was like so distraught because he'd brought me up to help cook, and I was there trying to help cooking, but then they'd send someone in and pull me out, and the next thing you know, I'm like in ceremony again. And it's just one of those moments where you just have to realize that whether you have the concept that you're capable or able to be something or not, the truth is you are who you are. And what really needs to happen in each moment for that to bloom and be fulfilled is surrender. It's just surrender. It's just allowing the wholeness of your heart and all that you are to express itself and be.
Beautiful.
Thank you for sharing that beautiful story, and what perfect words came out of your mouth, and absolutely true, because you do represent all of that and so much more that can't even be spoken in words.
Yeah, beautiful, Adam. That delighted me. It was such a fun moment to imagine you there, just channeling your truth and your higher self as a young man, just getting kind of pushed by all your guides right into the center. So I guess I'm happy to go next. And just to repeat the question, as I heard it, it was kind of like, what was that crossroads moment or that challenge, that initiation that really kind of catalyzed this level of embodiment? And my path was interesting in the sense that I came from a very glamorous background where there was so much worldly temptation, so much kind of like, he who dies with the most toys wins. Why would you want to go through a soul initiation when you don't have to, if you can be super comfortable in your life? And I found myself in the kind of, Disney princess movie scene where you think, you're going to marry the prince and all your dreams come true. And in fact, it was more of a almost hell realm type disillusionment for me. And I ended up having what I call now a spiritual emergence from a dark night of the soul. It was a shattering of the ego, an ego death, where everything I thought that I had or that mattered just one by one was dissolving and being stripped away. So it was at the end of that relationship where I saw that it was not soul aligned. And then at the same time, I had built up my ego identity to have a successful career as an international fashion model and a record deal. I was married to this millionaire playboy, and one by one, everything started to crumble until I found myself at it's funny to say, it happened at the Landmark Forum, which is usually a very big self-help kind of retreat. But for me, my heart was so broken open, and I was so ready for the next level that was beyond the mind. And I had a Kundalini experience in the Landmark Forum that lasted 4 days of not sleeping, eating, or even drinking water. And I found myself wanting for nothing and stripped down to no one, to be no one in those 4 days. And it was total freedom, though it was scary for the people around me because I wasn't interested in speaking the common conversation that is, really involved in the worldly matters. I was just wanting to sit by the trees and breathe and be. And it's interesting how scary that can be for people that want to enroll you back into, please drink this water. My own mother was shaking with fear, trying to hand me a plastic water bottle. And I spoke only truth. I will not imbibe this fear. In that state, there was no apology. It was just pure truth. It took me a while to integrate this, but I feel grateful for the shattering of the things that were not aligned, that didn't truly serve my soul, to then assist me to step into deeper service. Yeah.
That's just such a beautiful story, and that's why I wanted to ask that question, because all of you have gone through probably moment after moment, big moments of choice. And it's an inspiration to all of us when we are at moments of choice. And humanity on the macro is a moment of choice. And of course, just about every individual I know are right now at moments of choice. So that's why I wanted to start with this question. So thank you, Adam and Edom, for those beautiful stories. And I'm going to pop the spotlight on Shekinah and Sananda and hear if you'd like to share a choice point story.
Do you have one in that?
Choice points. There's been two big times in my live stream where I have just willingly, not that I had to, not that that was asked of me, but just willingly just gave everything up. Even my breath, just gave everything up. And there's 2 points in the life where each time that would play out, it would be so interesting because it would just propel me back into this experience of life. There was one time when I went to the Himalayas recently. This was just before I met Shekinah and my wife, essentially, because after that experience, we came in direct contact in the remembrance of the many lifetimes that we've served together. But before that, it was just giving up everything and willing to walk into the Himalayas with no intention, just willing to not really have anything but that desire to let it all go. And in that, it wasn't an embodiment to remember to bring something in. It's just a profound awakening of what already is. It wasn't adding to, it was just subtracting away from, and what's always been present. There's not another energy or another personality. It was just a complete remembrance of the totality, and that was really twice in life. But it had to prepare me in order to actually come into contact again with my beloved wife.
This reminds me of a story of beloved Sananda's, where he had to go straight into the ocean. He had to give everything he had away and go straight into the ocean, and he ended up... What happened from there, my love? Tell the story.
Well, actually, this is when I emptied all my bank accounts, gave all my money to the homeless people, took all my clothes off, give them to the homeless people, and I had like
off of his body.
Off of
He
my
just
body.
Took all of the clothes off and gave it to
I had
people.
hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of jewelry and possessions, and I just gave them out freely. I did this big, beautiful bonfire, and I still had bathing clothes, and then I did some asanas and just walked into the ocean at like midnight, and I don't know what time I came back, but eventually I came back. I don't have any memory of coming back. I just swam out into the ocean, and I eventually came back onto the shores. And that was that wasn't actually the two times that I but this is another.
That's what I was thinking.
This is another time. But I'll do that time and time again, every single day. You know, it's not even a. It's not even a
divine
thought.
will.
There's no one in control of this life anymore, because that's really how it came to be. It's just honoring whatever needs to happen. So it's very interesting when you say this, because there is no real choice in the end. And I when you've shared this question, I instantly was reminded of Shekinah's journey as well, where this is such a significant day for her, being the resurrection day, because she actually died physically and left for 6 days and 6 nights, and then was resurrected and walked into the physical body. It was like more of an ascension into the body to come through. But again, it wasn't by choice, and so there was never a choice point. Really, it came to a moment where, just as the other beloveds had shared, it's like everything's just stripped away and only truth remains. And that truth will only remain for eternity.
Wow. Thank you. And that is a very interesting, I mean, definitely one of those things that we could talk about over and over.
Unpack for quite some time.
Right, exactly. Like, to what degree is the choice and not choice? And that's a whole topic, right? Gosh, we only have 5 minutes. This Zoom room has gone by way too fast. So I would love to, since you all kind of know each other, I'm just making this up right now. I'd love to invite each of you to offer to one of the others what it is you admire or respect or have learned from the other. Again, this is spontaneous thought. What can we do in 5 minutes? That would be kind of fun. But since you all have met and have some connection with each other, I think that would just be kind of a lovely thing to do. So I will start while each of you think what you want to say to the others. So I'll go to Eden first. Eden, I so appreciate how you do everything with beauty. I mean, you absolutely are the embodiment of beauty, and everything you do has this grace to it, this beauty, and within that, your absolute love of the people you work with. You know, you're the incredible care that you provide to people. So I think those are the two qualities that come into my mind spontaneously, is your commitment to beauty and your commitment to caring for the people that you work with. Thank you. Adam, and I didn't even know I was going to do this. So this is all very spontaneous, by the way. I have experienced you as being really, really honest. You have this wonderful, you are like a straight shooter. And I really respect your honesty, even when it's awkward and uncomfortable. And I also appreciate your total commitment to bringing the future into the now, as we can see from your beautiful background, that amazing backdrop. But, you're leading the way for us, bro. And thank you for that. And thank you for being honest. Thank you for being so real. It's always, it's a great quality. Thank you.
Thank you.
And for our friends, the TwinRay, Sananda and Shekinah, you are two of the most generous people I've ever met. And your generosity absolutely overflows. And what's incredible is how you are in such an incredible state of awakened consciousness and are absolutely so generous in sharing that with the world, with the people that are with you and around you. And the other thing I want to just acknowledge is I love how playful you are. I really, really love how playful you are. So often, people that are spiritual teachers or that have reached a certain level of high level, we see them as kind of meditating all the time or almost serious. And getting to know you, you two have such a wonderful, playful nature. So thank you for being playful. Thank you for your generosity. And thank you for being with us tonight. Thank you.
It's beautiful.
So we have just like a minute for any of you that want to share with each other anything else. Yeah.
I will share. Beloved Adam, love your transparency, love the kindness that you have in your eyes. And the one time that we met you, as quickly as it was a wonderful experience that will stay in our heart for the way that you show up. So
Thank you. And Scott took my word, which was grace, for both Eden and for both of you. You are such exquisite embodiments of grace, all of you. And I know grace. It's my life work, and seeing graciousness in action is one of my deepest pleasures in life. So thank you for doing that for me.
thank you, beloved.
Yeah. Adam, you just we shared a thought cloud because I was remembering our last conversation in person, and that was the exact topic. You were sharing your life work and the graciousness that ascends into the city of pure grace. That was my reflection back to you, to just see you shining the way you are, embodying that more and more every time I see you. And for the TwinRays, I have yet to see you in person and spend time with you, but through this medium, I can just feel the gentle, open-hearted, divine presence through your gaze, through your voice. Your energy is so gentle and so kind, so sweet. It's really nourishing.
Thank you, beloved. We were actually going to say something similar to you, which was your sweetness and your vulnerability and your humility is what feels really true for us, for me speaking about you, and we are enjoyed to meet you as well.
Well, that was fun. Okay. I apologize because we're already a minute late for starting on Facebook, but thank you, everybody. A quick note for all of our presenters. Our musician, one of our musicians, Shyla, had a personal emergency. She won't be joining us tonight. So there will be an adjustment to the agenda. So just keep an eye on the agenda, and I'll update it. But I need to get us going on Facebook. So here we go.